Hey, what's going on, guys? It's FPL Yusuf here. Welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys my Game Week 18 transfer targets. In this video, we're going to cover how we got on in Game Week 17, some of the transfers that I have already confirmed already. We're going to take a look at what my watch list is looking like, and of course, what the team is going to be for the upcoming Game Week as well. So I do hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And as always, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today on my YouTube channel for another video. So let's take a look at how we got on in Game Week 17. And it was an okay game week. Probably could have been a little bit better. You know, the start of it and the middle of it was fantastic. Just towards the back end, the last two games didn't really go as planned. So we finished on 78 points all out, which did get us a very, very small red arrow down to about 527,000. So we're in a really good position right now. A little bit, like I said, a little bit unfortunate with the way the game week ended. But overall, you know, 78 points is still a respectable score. And, you know, still overall, we didn't actually take that much of a hit. So in goal, we had Donnarumma again coming back with another clean sheet, 7 points for him. Fantastic little run that he's been on at the moment with Manchester City. Onto the defence, you know, the back three, we did get the Arsenal double clean sheet this time. Timber did actually lose out on a bonus point towards the end of the game week. But at the end, by the time the game finished, he was on 7. And then I think about a day later, they removed it from him and gave it to David Raya. So, yeah, we lost one there. But Timber with 6 points. Hincapié with 10. Again, another big performance from him. And we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago when bringing him in, is that out of all the Arsenal defenders, he was the one that was looking like he was going to get DEFCON on the most consistent basis. And he did that. Obviously got his bonus points as well. Chris Richards, a little bit unfortunate with, you know, the way Crystal Palace played against Tottenham. They weren't really that great. Obviously, he done what he does best and just got his DEFCON. So 2 points for him at the base. We'll take it. Overall, the defence actually held up really well. Obviously, 3 out of the back 4 keeping clean sheets, which is really nice. Then we come onto the midfield, and once again, I feel like I'm talking about an underwhelming midfield. So we'll start off with the person who actually performed well, and that was Declan Rice. 11 points for him. Got himself an assist. Maybe a little bit fortunate to the way that penalty got given. So, but you know what, we'll take it. Obviously, got himself bonus points, DEFCONs as well. You know, really big performance from him. However, the rest of them not looking too great, and a few injuries been picked up as well. So Bruno Fernandes being the first one, got substituted at half time. It's looking like it's gonna be a hamstring injury, which means I don't think he'll be back anytime soon. And when I say soon, what I mean is within the next sort of 2 weeks, because the big thing about that is usually if you're talking about like a 2-3 week time frame, it's not usually too bad. It's 1, maybe 2 games. This time over Christmas period, the next 2 weeks is going to consist of 4 in-game game weeks. So yeah, that's a big loss, and we're going to talk about that and how we're going to deal with that in the next section. Phil Foden, 3 points. A little bit unfortunate he didn't get an assist in that game, but you know, a little bit underwhelming from him. Harry Wilson only 2, Bruno Guimaraes 2. So once again, we're back to that stage of the midfielders not really performing the way that I needed them to. But you know, there is caveats. Obviously, a couple little injuries in there which has affected the whole team. But yeah, overall, Declan Rice was the only one to perform. Luckily, we had someone from that midfield who actually stepped up. And onto the forward line, Igor Thiago, yet again, spoiler alert, he is gone from my team. I've had him in for these 2 weeks. I've seen enough. It was just a silly choice to bring him in. I know he had great fixtures, but at the end of the day, those penalties were never going to be consistently given, and you know, it's one of those things really. Erling Haaland, on the other hand, we did go back to him being captain this week. Fantastic, massive haul from him. 32 points to take away, which obviously gave us a massive part of our total score. And overall, like I said, not the greatest game week of the world, not the worst. A very, very small red arrow. So, you know, it's not something that's catastrophic. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can bounce back this coming game week with a bigger score. Right, so as I touched on there, I have actually made some transfers already. Now, obviously, last week we did roll, which means we had 3 transfers going to this game week. And spoiler, I have used all 3. So Saturday night, there was a lot of price changes looking like they were going to happen. I was going to lose a lot of value in a lot of players on my team. And also, some of them that I want to bring in were going to rise as well. So we'll start off in defence first. Obviously, Dan Burn was really unfortunate. Now, I wouldn't have sold him if he was still fit, because obviously Newcastle got a really nice run coming up from game week 21 onwards. But he's going to be out for about 6 weeks or so. So for me, it just didn't make sense to keep him there. He was going to drop on Saturday night. So I did swap him for Ibrahima Konate from Liverpool. Now, Liverpool, defensively, we all know how they've been this season. I've gone for him, one, because he's cheaper than Van Dijk, and I just wanted to save the money. Obviously, moving Dan Burn to Konate is going to cost me more. So I had to just bear that in mind. But they have got Wolves at home, Liverpool, and if they can't keep a clean sheet in this game, then I don't know what hope I've got for them. So yeah, for me, I've gone there pretty much on the hope that they're going to guarantee a clean sheet. Maybe there might be a very small chance of attacking returns from set pieces, but the majority of the reason why I brought him in is solely for that base clean sheet. Then we come on to our strikers now. I have made 2 transfers up here. First one up is Danny Welbeck. Obviously, he was flagged last week, was going to drop on Saturday night, so I did move him out for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. 1, to free up a little bit of money, but also 2, the form Calvert-Lewin in at the moment is just, he's on a fantastic scoring run, and Leeds are playing really well. They're creating a lot of chances. They have Sunderland this week, which I think will be a very close game. Obviously, both teams kind of need to win this one just for their own, you know, survival prospects. But yeah, for me, the form Calvert-Lewin is in, he's a little bit like Foden a few weeks ago, where I just want to try and get on that wave as quickly as possible until it runs out. Obviously, we know he's not going to continue scoring every game week, but I think for the price he's at and the value that he offers, I think he's a great pick. So as I touched on in the last section, Igor Thiago, he's been here for 2 weeks. He will be swiftly departing my team. It's always the case with these type of players where they score in games that maybe you don't expect him to, and then the ones that you do expect him to, like a Wolves, they just never turn up. So yeah, for me, he's going to be going. I'm going to be bringing Jarrod Bowen in, and the reason for this is over the Christmas period now, obviously we play 4 game weeks in two actual weeks, which is a lot of football. So I'm all about targeting players who are going to be playing 90 minutes. I don't want any rotation or try and minimize it as humanly possible, which is why it's a little bit upset that Bruno got injured. Now, would I have made these transfers if I had known about Harry Wilson and Bruno Fernandes? Possibly. Like Bruno Fernandes in particular, I don't really see a need to move him out this week. Obviously next week Man United play Wolves, so that could be an easy transition to someone like a Mateus Cunha, but this week he can almost just sit on the bench as I have cover there. So yeah, I did make those 3 transfers very early on. Would I do it again? Maybe not. Maybe I just wait and see. Obviously Arsenal playing tonight in the cup, so you know there could be injuries there. Hopefully, fingers crossed not, because I don't really want to take a minus. But yeah, I think if you're watching this, you haven't made transfers yet, I would just advise, just hold on, don't do what I did and go early. Yes, you save on the price changes, but obviously I came away with, I got rid of 2 injuries, but I've also gained 2 injuries now. So yeah, it all swings and roundabouts, but that is what my transfers are for game week 18. Right, so let's take a look at what my watch list is looking like. And first off, we'll start off in defence. Now, Jurrien Timber is still number 1 for me. Arsenal are the best defence in the league. They are at home. Brighton aren't really playing that well going forward, even though Brighton do sometimes cause Arsenal a few problems over the last few years. But the attacking runs that Timber makes, man, he gets himself into some serious positions going forward. So for me, I want a piece of that because I can see an attacking return coupled with a clean sheet coming very soon with him. So yeah, I've got Timber number 1. Ibrahim Konate is number 2. This could be Van Dijk, depending on which one you've got. I just think that with the Wolves at home fixture, Liverpool should be keeping a clean sheet in this one. So yeah, the Liverpool asset has gone number 2. Calafiori's in at number 3. The reason why I haven't got him up there with Timber as high is just because I feel like Timber takes up better attacking positions than him. Not to say Calafiori doesn't. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he got an assist, a goal, because he does pop up in you know, forward position sometimes, but I just think Timber does it on a more consistent basis. But Calafiori obviously still has the Arsenal clean sheet defence, you know, potential behind him as well. So yeah, for me, I think he's a great option. Michael Keane's in at number 4, obviously a great price. On paper, they are playing Burnley. Now, the one caveat I will say to this is that just be cautious, because Burnley, even though they don't seem to win games, they do always seem to sort of score, and it's always a late goal as well. So just bear that in mind when you're picking Michael Keane, is that just wait for the final whistle before you celebrate, because Burnley have this habit over the last few weeks where they've been wiping out a lot of clean sheets right at the very end. They did it to Newcastle. They did it last week. I can't remember who they played against now, but they've been doing it quite recently. So yeah, just err on the side of caution with that. And last up I've gone with is Matthias Nunes. Obviously, they're going away to Nottingham Forest. Now, the reason why I've gone for him is I actually think the positions he's going to pick up in this game in particular is going to be very, very beneficial to how he plays. So yeah, I think if you are looking for a Manchester City defender, which isn't a bad option right now, they are looking like they are, you know, sort of racking up a few clean sheets. I do like him, and I do think, like I said, with the positions he's going to take up, I think that there could be chance for attacking returns as well. Right, so then we come on to the midfielders. Number 1 is obviously Antoine Semenyo. Brentford away this week. A great fixture for him. He's just in great form at the moment. Now, it's not going to continue. We all know that with Antoine Semenyo, like, he's overperforming his XG massively. But when players are hitting purple patches and when players are hitting certain runs of form, I think you almost just have to just jump onto him and take him. So yeah, if you're looking for a short-term haul, you know, looking for like a 1-week punt, 2-week punt, someone just to bring in and get some points and leave, I think he is the best value midfielder this week at least. Okay, Phil Foden's in at number 2. Obviously, he did blank last week, but he was very unlucky that he didn't get an assist. If Haaland hadn't taken a second touch on that goal, he would have got the assist for that. So yeah, Foden still in fantastic form. I think his minutes are guaranteed over this Christmas period. Anyway, you know, Man City are suffering with a few injuries going forward with the likes of Doku, and obviously the players like Savinho and Oscar Bob aren't really getting minutes at the moment. So I think he's great for minutes, but also he's got a great attacking potential as well. Number 3, I've gone for Declan Rice. Obviously, he's on set pieces for Arsenal. Will be playing 90 minutes in every single game that he's fit. Has got DEFCON potential, as we've seen over the last few weeks, clean sheet odds. So he's a very well-balanced round midfielder. I think that we should be expecting, I think a goal will be coming for him at some point. You know, he does get himself into some very good positions with some good shots off as well at goal. So yeah, I think for me, and the price he's at and the consistency you're going to get, I really do like him. Anthony Gordon in at number 4. Now, this might be a little bit of a pre-early buy. I think from 21 onwards, Newcastle look really nice. But I think Anthony Gordon is looking like he's starting to pick up a little bit of form now. 2 assists last week. He's looking very, very good. And I think for me, when you're looking at sort of differentials, I think he is someone who's there. He's under 10% owned at the time we're recording this. So yeah, I do like him as a pick. And I do think that, you know, for the price he's at as well, that around that sort of mid 7.5 to 8 million price range, I think he's probably one of the better options, at least for the long-term hold anyway. Last up, I've gone for a sole 1 week punt, and this is a complete differential, and that's Florian Wirtz. Obviously, Dominic Szoboszlai is suspended for this game. Gakpo is still out injured. Isak looks like he's got an injury, so I think Florian Wirtz will play, and I do think he'll play 90 minutes. If there's any game that he could sort of turn up with his creativity, it is this one against Wolves. So if you are on a free hit or you're looking for just a random 1 week punt, I do like him. I do like him for this game week. And on to the forwards now. Erling Haaland, of course, is going to be number 1. We won't really talk too much about him. Ekitike number 2. Again, same thing with Isak being out injured. Obviously, his minutes are looking more and more secure now. Wolves at home is just a fantastic fixture on paper, so there's no doubt about them two being 1 and 2 respectively. I've gone for Nick Voltemade in at number 3. Obviously, Manchester United have lost a few players through to AFCON, and the game against Bournemouth that I watched, I think it was last week, they really looked open at the back, and I do think that Nick Voltemade could get chances here. I think that's why I've got Anthony Gordon on the list as well. I think they could have a lot of joy against this Manchester side, despite the fact they are missing a few players as well. Jarrod Bowen's in at number 4. I think he's just consistency personified really with him, is that you're going to get 90 minutes, like I said previously. I think if West Ham are going to score, he's going to be a big part of it. And I think with him over the next few weeks as well, they've got very, very, very nice fixtures. So yeah, he's decently priced. I think, you know, with certain players like that, you just bring him in and you just hold them for, you know, as long as you need to. They're going to play all the time. If West Ham score, he's going to have a hand in it in some way, shape or form, whether it's the goal or the assist. So yeah, I do like Jarrod Bowen. And last up is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Of course, I've touched on him. Great fixture this week against Sunderland away. He's in fantastic form. And like I said, this form won't continue. There's no doubt about it. He will, you know, quieten down a little bit. But I think, as I said, the same with Phil Foden. When players hit purple patches, sometimes you just have to get on and try and get as many points out of them as you can before they sort of start to cool down and start to slow down. So yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin in at number 5. Very cheap as well. And I do like him as a one-off pick this week. So let's take a look at what my Game Week 18 team is looking like. So we'll start off in goal. Donnarumma, Nottingham Forest away. I was contemplating bringing Jordan Pickford in this week for Burnley, but I think with the form Donnarumma's been in this week, he's kept clean sheets over his last few weeks. And like I said, with Burnley, they seem to score right at the very death. So I think I'll just let this one go for now. It's not worth taking a -4, so he's going to be my keeper. Onto the defence, I've gone for the back 2 of Arsenal. Of course, the double Arsenal defence will be starting. We've got Ibrahima Konate, the new signing that we brought in this week against Wolves. And I am going to be starting Trevor Chalobah. Now, this is a little bit of a toss-up between him and, you know, depending on how I structure the team or if I take a -4. But for the time being, Trevor Chalobah, Aston Villa at home. I think Aston Villa are very reliant on Morgan Rogers at the moment. I think if Chelsea can find a way to keep him quiet, which Reece James and Malo Gusto, depending on which one's playing there, should be able to do. I do like Chelsea's odds at clean sheets. And obviously, Trevor Chalobah for me this season has been very, very reliable, whether it's for DEFCONs, bonus. He's been very, very good. So yeah, I'm happy to play him there. We're going to go for a back 4 this week. And that is what my defence and keeper is looking like. Midfield, of course, we have injuries with Harry Wilson and Bruno Fernandes. We'll start, Phil Foden, of course, is going to be in there. Bruno Guimaraes and Declan Rice. Now, if I find out that Harry Wilson is fit, there is a chance that I do bring him in this week instead of Bruno Guimaraes. But because he's flagged, because Bruno Fernandes is flagged, and I don't really think it's worth taking a minus, I have just got to go with the 3 midfielders that I've got this week. But I'm happy with all of them. I think all of them offer their own routes to points, whether it be through DEFCON, through goals, through assists, through clean sheets. So yeah, they've all got their own upsides, which I'm happy to own. And onto the front 3, it's going to be my same strikers that, you know, we talked about in transfer plans. Jarrod Bowen, our new signing. Erling Haaland, of course, the man who's been there since game week 1. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin, our other new signing. Haaland will have captaincy this week. I don't really see an option to go anywhere else. There is a rogue shout if you are looking for a differential for Dominic Calvert-Lewin whilst he's in this form. But I feel like if you're going against Haaland, you have to wait for a better fixture than this one. So yeah, for me, Haaland will be my captain. Jarrod Bowen's got Fulham. Calvert-Lewin's away to Sunderland. So yeah, really happy with that team and how it's looking for the Game Week 18 deadline. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I'll be back tomorrow with an FPL challenge video, and then we'll be back either Thursday evening / Friday morning with a final team section video before Friday's deadline. So remember that it is an 8 o'clock kickoff, which means it's a 6:30 deadline on Friday. So yeah, if I don't see you guys for a couple of days, obviously, like I said, I'll have an FPL challenge video up tomorrow. I just hope you guys have a great holiday. If you celebrate Christmas, happy Christmas. If you don't, just enjoy some time off. You know, we've got a thick and fast schedule coming up with FPL over the next 2 weeks. So brace yourself for that. Just take a couple of days just to chill out, relax before those games every 2 or 3 days start to come around. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, like I said, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.